Do you ever feel like your best years are still ahead of you? Well, that's exactly how I felt not too long ago. As I stepped into my 40s, I began asking myself some tough, soul searching questions. Am I truly happy? Am I where I want to be? And what's next for me? This period of reflection and self discovery opened the door to an entirely new chapter in my life, one that emerged because I made the conscious decision to live each day with intention. In a recent video, I'll link it in the description, I shared the habits I let go of in midlife to create space for a better, more fulfilling life. Now, in this video, I'll walk you through the 4 key changes I embraced that helped me break past my limitations and step into my best life yet. And who knows, maybe they'll spark something meaningful for you too. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Farrah Hylton, author of the workbook, It's Time to Get Your Act Together, and coach helping women to live their best life. Now, before we jump into that first habit, I want you to know that change doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that begins with small, intentional steps. The habits we choose to adopt shape who we are, and building new, positive ones is where true transformation begins. With that said, let me share the first new habit I embraced and how it completely shifted my perspective. Habit number 1, I started practicing daily gratitude and journaling. Now let me take you back to a typical morning during my 20s and 30s. I'd wake up, immediately reach for my phone, and start scrolling through emails and news. Before I even got out of my bed, my heart was already racing. Then it was a quick shower, grabbing something to eat on the way out the door, or for some, just heading downstairs to a home office. Sound familiar? It's no surprise that my days were filled with anxiety and constant rushing. I unintentionally started every morning in chaos. But mornings of all times should feel calm and grounding, right? They're the foundation of the day, and yet I was letting the day dictate my mood before I even had a chance to breathe. At some point, I realized things had to change. I needed to take control and set the tone for the day myself. The first step, starting with the gratitude. I reminded myself of the basics, the things I often took for granted. Waking up under a roof, being healthy, having loved ones who were healthy, and being employed. These were simple but profound blessings, and I needed to recognize that. Sometimes we just need a nudge, a small reminder to appreciate what we have. Now, instead of lurching into anxiety, I wake up, grab my journal from my nightstand, and write down 3 things I'm grateful for every single morning. Sometimes it's the obvious stuff, smiling faces around the breakfast table, a sunny morning walk. Other days, I dig deep and discover gratitude for challenges that taught me something vital. But I don't stop at gratitude lists. Journaling has become a place where I check in with myself. Sometimes I answer questions like, what's top of mind? Or what's one thing that would make me proud by bedtime? Over time, these little acts of reflection have sharpened my focus, made me more present, and helped me greet every possibility instead of every problem. There are days I'll flip back through old entries, reminders of progress, proof that hard seasons end and that growth really is possible. If you've never tried it, what do you have to lose? Habit number 2, I started investing in myself. When was the last time you truly invested in yourself? For a long time, I held back. I felt almost guilty spending money on courses, workshops, or coaches. But here's the truth. What athlete thrives without a coach? What athlete doesn't dedicate hours to honing their skills, perfecting their craft through relentless practice and research? And what CEO succeeds without a mentor? What CEO doesn't constantly study their industry, seeking ways to grow and improve their business? Investing in ourselves is not only necessary, it's essential for growth and success. It shows that we value our potential and are willing to put in the effort to reach it. So don't let guilt or hesitation hold you back from investing in yourself. Whether it's through education, personal development, or seeking guidance from a mentor, take the leap and invest in your future self. Every successful person has invested time, money, and energy into themselves. They understand the importance of continuous learning and improvement. So don't be afraid to do the same. Embrace the mindset of investing in yourself and watch as you reap the rewards in all areas of your life. I realized that by investing in myself, not only was I improving as an individual, but also as a professional. Because when you invest in yourself, you are constantly evolving and becoming the best version of yourself. Every time I put myself, my growth, or my curiosity first, something inside me expands. I've signed up for conferences that challenge what I thought I knew. I've bought books and apps on subjects that used to terrify me, like public speaking, emotional intelligence, even learning brand new languages. I started carving out a personal growth budget, a set amount each quarter to spend however I want, so long as it's an investment in my future. Sometimes that means online courses. Sometimes it's a single session with a coach or mentor. The first time I walked into a crowded seminar by myself, every insecurity screamed at me to run, but I stayed, listened, and left with ideas I still use today. I even met people I'm still in touch with years later. And don't forget the little daily ways you can invest in yourself, setting aside reading time, listening to podcasts, even joining a new community. Each act is a message to yourself. You are worth it, and growth is a lifelong journey. Habit number 3, taking more risks. One of the best quotes I live by is, "You can't win the lottery if you don't play." In other words, you can't succeed if you don't step into the game. So let me ask you, are you in the game? There was a time when I realized I was just watching life pass me by from the sidelines. Maybe you've been there too, just stuck in a routine, convincing yourself it's safer not to take risks. Or perhaps you've been playing it safe, not to lose, but never truly playing to win. For years, I told myself I was going to start a YouTube channel, launch a blog, build a consulting business, write a novel, get fit, and live a healthier life. I'd either start and stop, or worse, never even take the first step. How could I possibly achieve those goals if I wasn't willing to begin or commit to the journey? The truth is, you can't move forward without taking action. You get to a point where the pain of not doing becomes far more painful than doing it. Someday was never today, and tomorrow never comes. It's time to stop making excuses and start chasing your dreams. Each day is a blank slate waiting for you to fill it with purpose and passion. To stay accountable, I've made it a habit to write down my goals in a planner, outline clear action plans, and review my progress monthly. And yes, I even use a Gantt chart to track my growth. I consider myself the CEO of my own life, fully dedicated to building the business of me. My mission? Well, it's to grow continuously into the best version of myself and live a life I'm proud of. So let's make someday today. Take the first step towards your goal, no matter how small or insignificant they may seem. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Don't let fear hold you back from pursuing what truly sets your soul on fire. Embrace the unknown and all its challenges, because that's where true growth happens. Believe in yourself and your abilities. You are capable of achieving great things if you have the courage to begin. And even if you stumble or fall along the way, don't let those setbacks discourage you. Here's the magic in risk taking. Each bold move makes the next a little less scary. Progress compounds, confidence builds. Even if things don't go as planned, it's never really failure. It's just feedback. What's one risk you could take today? Maybe it's applying for a dream job, reaching out to a mentor, or signing up for something you're not ready for. If I can do it, why not you? Habit number 4, becoming more private. Now, this one really surprised me. In a world where we're constantly encouraged to share every little milestone, goal, or plan on social media, I started to ask myself a simple yet profound question. What do I actually gain from announcing my next move to the world? At first, it seemed harmless, maybe even exciting, to let people know what I was working on. But then I noticed something. Once the cat was out of the bag, over time, my energy shifted. Instead of focusing on the actual work and staying connected to why I started in the first place, I found myself spending more energy managing other people's reactions, opinions, and expectations. It's like the work itself became secondary to the performance of it. So I made a shift. I decided to experiment with something called quiet confidence. Instead of announcing my ideas or plans, the moment they're born, I started holding them close. When I'm working on something truly meaningful, I stay silent until I'm absolutely ready to share the results. It wasn't easy at first, but over time, I realized how powerful it felt to keep certain parts of my journey private. There's immense strength in not seeking validation or approval from others midway through the process. By keeping the focus on myself and the work, I found my motivation comes from a much deeper place, one that isn't influenced by likes, comments, or outside opinions. And with that shift came an unexpected gift: peace. A deep, unshakable peace in knowing that progress is mine and mine alone until I decide to share it. Maybe you've heard the phrase move in silence, let your success make the noise. It's a popular quote, but when you actually live it, you realize just how freeing it can be. When you stop broadcasting every idea, every step, every win to the world, you gain something invaluable: freedom. Freedom to change your mind without judgment, to refine your plans without external pressure, or even to walk away from something that no longer feels right without feeling like you have to explain yourself to an audience. It's your journey, and no one else is entitled to know every detail of it. This new boundary I've set has been transformative. It has protected my energy and creativity in ways I did not expect. And when I stopped worrying about what others thought or whether they were tracking my progress, I discovered just how much I could accomplish when I was working quietly in the background. And honestly, if people are curious, let them wonder. There's a kind of magic in that mystery. Your work, your progress, your growth, they're all real and valid, whether or not the world is watching. You don't need an audience to prove you're moving forward. So now I challenge you to think about how you share your plans. Are you seeking approval, reassurance, or is it just habit? Maybe it's time to hold some things close, to embrace the power of silence. I promise there's a whole new level of freedom and joy waiting for you when you keep your plans private and let your results speak for themselves. Bringing it all together. None of these changes happened overnight. There were mornings I wanted to run back to old habits, days when the risk felt too big, the investment too uncertain, or the urge to overshare too strong. But each new habit built upon the last, a slow, sturdy foundation. Here's a little secret. I still have days when I slip. That's normal. What matters is what you do next. Every time you choose gratitude over stress, growth over comfort, and purpose over performance, you create a new reality for yourself. Take a moment to reflect. What could you begin or let go of today to bring yourself closer to the person you aspire to be? If any part of my story resonated with you, write it down and revisit it often. Thank you for spending time with me. Sharing these habits is more than just a list for a video. It's an invitation for you to step into a version of yourself that's always been possible. Tell me in the comments, what's one change, big or small, that's shaping your life right now? Let's learn from each other. Your story is powerful. If this video lit a spark, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little encouragement today. Let's build this community. One conversation, one breakthrough, one day at a time. And remember, growth is a choice you make every single day. The best time to start is right now. You've got what it takes. So go out there, live boldly, and never stop becoming the person you're meant to be. Cheers.